Alrighty, same day as the previous chapter. Just a little bit later after some emergency recording to get back on schedule. Which we are, so this is recording on Monday for a Tuesday. Remember to head over and check out the podcast, just in case stuff happens again. At least you'll know where to find the content and have easy access to it. It is available on most podcast websites, so yeah, hope to see you there. Just a quick shout out to the T5 peeps. Bob the Dragon, Cat Crab Lobster, Data Magnet, Dark Machine, Bezic, Try Again 95, Pudic Yol, Astrea the Dreamer, Casper Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Ithilia, Meridian 117, and Jordan Bucksmorm. Thank you very much. Anyways, on to the story. All about the Lynaeids, Part 8. Trust in me. Lynaeids as a species fall fairly low on the Kegler scale of deceit and deception. This means that they are generally bad at detecting when someone is acting in a deceitful fashion, but also means that they are bad at acting in a deceptive fashion themselves. Lynaeids are sought after as advisors, liaisons, and any time you need trusted employees, they make terrible Leos. Dubious Review of Ontological Species Studies, all about the Lynaeids, trust in me, published by Glass and Steel, all about the Lynaeids, Translation Engine 3.1415. The door rang and announced the captain. Nerif, as liaison, answered the door. "Come in, Captain," she said. "That was quite an impressive demonstration," Captain Rackham said. Zoe tilted her head in acknowledgement, but didn't say anything. "I might have wished to know that she was that dangerous before she came aboard," he said mildly. Nerif lifted her chin. "Bubsy isn't dangerous when we're around. That's one reason why we were so upset that someone broke into our quarters." "As you say," Captain Rackham said, nodding his agreement. "Until after we are finding that mole, I'd suggest that she not be left alone again." "You can be rest assured on that, Captain," Nate said. "But I came to discuss one more thing," Captain Rackham said. "I fear that it may not be popular with your team, but I must mention it. Then, when you have your discussion about keeping the contract or ending it, you'll have all the information on hand. My plan was to use multiple shuttles and multiple stops to foil whoever was using the tracer. But if we have a mole on board, they may be able to let the Glint know exactly what planet we used for our real landing site. To avoid this, I would like to give the appearance of leaving on the first shuttle, and then staying hidden on the ship until we get to the correct stop. I trust my mate group, and they will help us with the deception. But it means almost a week of staying in one of the shuttles in the bay, where the quarters are not as nice as this one." "Thank you," Nerif said. "We will include this fact in our discussion tonight." After the captain left, Nerif sat down and Fubsy climbed into her lap. "Well, end the contract, or keep it?" she asked. "I vote keep it," Nate said. "If we turn down this job, we're asking for the Glint to get the FTL drive first and be allowed fully back into the aggregate." "Just because they get the FTL drive doesn't mean they'll be able to figure out how it works, especially if it was created by a human," Quirf said. He saw Nate's face and smiled. "However, I vote with Nate. I don't want the Glint to get their hands on it." Alan sighed. "I would rather not be in the same space quadrant as the Glint. I don't want them hearing my name, or thinking about me, or remembering me." He paused and then said, "But it sounds like it's too late for that." Jareth said, "Your past with the Glint is not by war, but we are a team, and I'll have your back. Whatever I can do, I will do with you. I vote with Nate, Quirf, and Alan." Nerif looked at Zoe, who nodded. "I guess it's settled then," Nerif said. "I'll send a message to the captain later on tonight. I would hate for the poor man to know just how quickly our group was able to make a decision." Her smile was small but wicked and made the other team members laugh. Over the next 2 days, they gave classes to the other 2 ships, warning them about the dangers of Fubsy. They took Fubsy on walks, lots of walks, all over the ship, to every nook and cranny that they could find, and some that were just stumbled over. Fubsy seemed to enjoy the walks, but if she detected the troll that had broken into their quarters, she gave no sign. Unless pausing to wash herself, was a sign. In what was hopefully good news, Bubsy's color didn't change either. She was still charcoal black, and in the right light you could see the stripes of pure black on her fur. She didn't get any lighter, and she didn't get any darker. On the third day, the nonsuch dropped out of FTL with a distinctive quiver that you could feel through the floor. The team had packed their bags in preparation, and the door rang, announcing Rogers. "Captain's compliments, and he asks that you join him in the shuttle bay for the planet drop," Rogers said smartly, her hand to her head in what Nerif remembered was a salute. "Rogers," Nate said, "are you a member of the captain's family group?" "Just so," Rogers agreed. "Dr. Livesey will be giving you a pre-flight physical exam." Rogers paused and then said, "Dr. Livesey is also a member of the captain's family." Rogers escorted them down to the shuttle bay, which had 9 shuttles in it. The first officer was there to receive the last instructions from Captain Rackham, and Dr. Rackham and Dr. Livesey scanned them and pronounced them fit to leave. After the first officer and Dr. Livesey left, 2 more Trial entered the bay and climbed aboard the shuttle. "Give me your bracelets," the captain said, and held out his hands. After a moment of confusion, Quirrell's face cleared and he handed over his bracelet and took Bubsy's bracelet off of her harness. "You're taking the bracelets down to the surface so that no one can track us here. So that it looks like we went down with the shuttle," Quirrell said with a smile. The captain tapped the side of his nose with his finger and pointed at Quirrell. Everyone else handed over the bracelets, and the captain added his to the pile that he handed to 2 trolls that were to fly the shuttle planetside. He pulled one into an embrace, his hand on the back of their neck, and they touched foreheads. "Luck be with you," he said. "We don't need luck, John. You should know that by now," the female of the 2 said with a smile. The team and the captain climbed into Shuttle 4, while the 2 trolls headed off in Shuttle 1. Once the first shuttle left, Captain Rackham looked around the shuttle that would be their home for the next few days and said, "Not as nice a welcome as I'd hoped to give you, but I'm glad you decided not to end the contract." Nate was looking at the viewport towards the bay doors. "What were their names?" "The 2 on the shuttle," Captain Rackham asked. Nate nodded, not taking his eyes off the doors. "Ben and Alex," the captain said, his smile almost apologetically. "We all love the old pirate stories of your world and have broken with tradition a little. Tradition says that we should take our names from our own mythology, but as a group we decided to take our names from yours." "Big group decision, huh?" Alan said. "How many weeks did it take for you to decide?" The captain smiled again. "Almost no time at all. It was our love for those stories that brought us together." Nate continued to stare out the viewport. "What happens if the Glint find them?" he asked. "Nothing," the captain said. "Nothing at all. The Glint wouldn't dare. They would be cast out from the aggregate completely." Nate snorted. "I never thought you were as naive, Captain." The nonsuch shifted position, pointing to the next planet and then entering FTL. Nate continued to stare out the viewport. "I hope you're right. I really do." End of chapter. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There are links down below, both to support this channel and for the author of this fiction. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.